the best. You want Steel rubber products. Smell that fuel? We're back in the garage with Bodie Stroud.
Welcome back to In the Garage. Before the break, we were talking about the late Carol Shelby, and we got Bruce from Modern Driveline on the phone with us today. And what do you say we bring him on?
Let's do that.
All right, Bruce, you there? Bruce?
Okay.
Hey, there you are.
Yep, here I am.
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. I'm doing very well.
How's the weather out there in Idaho?
You couldn't ask for better weather here in Idaho. We're 7 degrees, not a cloud in the sky.
Ooh,
best
nice.
part of the year.
Nice. And I'm sure you got crisp, clean air instead of thick, heavy, smoggy air.
Yeah, I left all that behind when I left the Bay Area back in '06, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. I think it's worse now.
Yeah, doesn't get any better.
No, it doesn't. Oh, so how you been, man?
I've been well. It's certainly it's been an adjustment since leaving California up here in Idaho. I thought I'd be the odd guy out, not the only one playing with cars, but it turns out there's a huge car scene here in Idaho.
Oh, good. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what do you got going new? I mean, tell everybody a little bit about yourself and how you got started in the business. And now, before the break, we were talking about Carol Shelby, and we know that you're a member of the Shelby Club, and
Yeah, I've been a part of the NorCal chapter or NorCal regional, Shelby Club since 89 or 90 time frame.
Yeah.
And I was looking for a club in the Bay Area, kind of get together, know some other guys, with other Mustangs, and spoke to a friend of mine who ran a shop, and he says, "Oh yeah, you need to get involved with the Shelby Club." And I said, "Well, I don't own a Shelby."
Yeah.
He says, it's a Ford enthusiast club. You got to come check it out. And I said, okay, I'll come check it out. And my very first meeting I went to at the NorCal Club, they were talking about this mini Nats. And I'm thinking, what the heck is a mini Nat? Well, it turns out it's our mini national that they put on the West Coast. And it just so happened that meeting was the month meeting prior to Carol coming into the club. He was an invited guest, a guest, and we're going to be down at the Laguna Seca. And Carol was coming, and I went, "The Carol Shelby?" He said, "Yeah, he's the one coming." I said, "Well, I've got to come check this out." And, over the years, I've had a chance to meet Carol with the club, and many of the guys had always listened to a lot of his stories, and, of course, the team that he put together were always invited to various events, and always entertaining.
Yeah. No, he was a good guy. I met him once. That's the only opportunity I had. But
he's certainly had an influence, on the industry. I don't know that anybody in this industry hasn't been touched in some way by what he has done. He certainly was a very outspoken individual, a risk taker. How many people do you know that would take one car and repaint it different colors and put it on a magazine just because it showed that he had more than one car available?
That's great.
That was the kind of thing that Carl did,
That's a great idea. That's what I'm going to start doing.
Yeah.
I didn't know that's all I had to do.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing to me that somebody would take, a British race car and stuff a V8 into it and be the most iconic, car going, and then, take a Mustang, which Carol slated as a, secretary's car, and make a race car out of it, and then turn a Sunbeam Tiger, stuff a V8 engine into that.
Yeah, no, that's he did it, man. He really did. And and right now we got a 65 in the shop that we're doing, a fastback that you're helping us out with.
That is correct, yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like the owner's going to be pulling the trigger and buying that tranny from me next week. So
that's going to be a sweet package with a modular motor from Ford and a 6-speed. That's doesn't get much better than that.
No, we're actually talking to a friend of mine, David, out at Roush Yates right now about the motor. So hopefully we can work that out in the next couple of weeks, and it will. It'll be a really nice package.
Fantastic.
What's that?
I said fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, and we've bought other transmissions from you. You know, we got a lot of questions for you. We got, you know, we wanted to talk about Carol passing away, and then we wanted to talk to what cars you own, and you know, tell us a little bit more about yourself and how you got started in doing the business you're doing right now.
You know, my business really it was not slated to be a business 14 years ago. It was simply something that I had. I was working for Charlie Bruno, Charlie's Mustangs, back in San Jose, and that's how I got into the club. And the short story is that I acquired a 65 Mustang of my own from a friend after being introduced to another friend who had a 66 and how much fun he was having open tracking it with the NorCal Club. And I said, you know, I've got to get one of these cars myself.
Yeah.
And I contacted a friend. He sold me the car, and it was an automatic. And I said, this won't do, and talked with Charlie. and the short story is we ended up putting a T5 5-speed in the thing. And at the time, the industry didn't have many parts.
Yeah.
So I started making my own parts to convert these transmissions. And many years gone by, the club kind of picked up what I was doing. The internet came along and said, you know, I was sticking things on eBay and various internet places, created a website. Ironically enough, my background is in semiconductor. Being in the Bay Area, obviously a huge influence of that. So I really wasn't in the car industry from the very beginning. My background of 18 years was the semiconductor industry.
Wow.
And so the car stuff was just simply a passion. So over the years, basically, I wanted to tinker with cars, and I didn't have the shop, if you will. I didn't have the tools, didn't have all the skill sets. Still a young buck at the time.
Yeah.
And Charlie showed me the ropes. We built a car. The business came in about 1980 or 1998, 99 time frame. And it just kind of went from a cottage industry to a full-fledged business, and it's just kept on growing over the years, and
wow,
that's where we are today.
Well, good for you. I mean, that, you know, it kind of sounds like my life, too. I mean, you know, cars were always my passion. You know, I just, I had another business that I was doing for 15 years, and, you know, I always wanted a shop, and it just worked out that I was kind of thrown into it, you know, thrown this direction, and, you know, the signs were on the wall, so I went that direction. You know? Yep,
no, I can completely relate, because the semiconductor market was going in a direction I didn't care for, and I'm the person that's not going to be at the corner with a tin cup. So
yeah, well,
do
me
what
too.
You gotta do.
Yeah, exactly. We're the working type. We aren't going to just sit around. You know, it's I mean, perfect example. I was at my last business for 15 years, and they let me go because of new ownership. You know, the corporate world, and
yep.
And I didn't collect unemployment. I went right back to work. But
I hear you.
We're going to take a break real quick, but we'll be right back. Hang on, Bruce, all right?
All right.
Thanks, man.
Don't leave your bench. We'll be right back in the garage with Bodie Stroud.
Who's watching your home when you're not there? It could be a burglar. Burglars prefer to break in when they think no one is home, and no